I was gonna say, did I bring the bag? I think he needs a little bit longer leash. You think so?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
I told you, so much energy. For a little dog, he just took off one end with my daughter. Dang, he really pulled you, huh? Oh, there he goes. What happened? What happened? What happened?
Someone got run over.
Oh. You need to pay attention, Jeff. Oh, this breeze feels good. Whew. Okay. Next time we walk on the street, I'm gonna go across because that hurt my neck. Whoa. Tilting down like that, just to bend over the. What's today, Thursday?
Come. Oh.
Hi.
No. Come.
You want to play with every dog, Jeff.
Come.
When he does that, it scares you too, huh? When he jumps like that. So I just got back from a quick walk with my daughter and our dog. I didn't really go too far, as you can tell. It is a little late in the afternoon. But I'm feeling a little tired today. I think because I took a nap. I was up kind of late last night, and like I mentioned, when I sleep, if I sleep late, wake up early, um, sometimes I go back to sleep. It's like I'm tired, so that's why I go back to sleep. But yeah, sometimes when I don't get enough sleep, my anxiety is up. What I mean by up is kind of high, and whatnot. But yeah, so I want to talk about anxiety and what if thinking, overthinking, negative thoughts, things like that. A lot of us that have anxiety, panic disorder. We also have depression. I myself don't feel depressed like I used to. Prior to me having panic attacks, I never had depression. I knew what depression was, but I never had it. But I did had it. I didn't get depression within my first panic attack. I didn't get depression till I think somewhere in June, mid-June or early July. That's when I started feeling depression. Of 2016, May, somewhere in mid-May, late May. That's when I started having panic attacks. When I lost my job, like when I couldn't go to work, that's when my anxiety got worse. That's when I started becoming housebound. Because when I started experiencing panic attacks away from home, that's when I started having more anxiety, more panic attacks, more symptoms, more sensation. Because I was at home thinking too much. It's like, when you have anxiety, you start thinking. about so much things. You don't think about what might happen. I mean, you don't think at in the present moment. You think about what happened to you, yesterday. What happened to you last week? What happened to you last month? You can't even think about what happened to you last year, a couple of years ago. How you might even think about what might happen to you tomorrow, next week, next month, a couple of years from now. You don't think about. You don't live in the moment. I was guilty of that as well because when I started experiencing panic attacks, I will always think, okay, I'm getting panic attacks. I will even write down on a notebook what day it is, the time I had my panic attack, the symptoms I was feeling. Sometimes I even wrote down like what time I sleep, what time I woke up, what I ate the previous night if I woke up with a panic attack. So it's like I'm overreacting. Like, I start thinking, okay, if let's say, for example, if I have a panic attack at 11 a.m., around 11 a.m., that time frame around 11 to 12, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. If I always have a panic attack around those times, and I'm going to think to myself, okay, those times is a panic. That's when my panic attack happens. So I want to sleep during those times. So so I won't wake up with the panic attack. So every time I look at my note and it's always the same time, around the same time frame, I will try to sleep late so I can wake up later, so I don't feel the anxiety. So in my mindset, I'm thinking this time is bad, so I'm gonna sleep during those time. If I eat something and it give me a panic attack, I don't want to eat that. For example, sometime in 2016, I believe, you know, I ate pizza. Right, I ate pizza. I think the previous night I had a couple of slices for dinner. Woke up in the morning, had a panic attack. I woke up and then I thought to myself, what did I eat last night before I went to sleep? It was pizza. Um, and then I said, oh, it's just maybe it's not the pizza. Maybe it's just because it's just panic attack. It just come out of nowhere. And then my and then went to eat some more pizza that following day, that morning after my panic attack was gone. I went to sleep, woke up, ate some pizza. Then I had another panic attack. Then went back to sleep. When you have a panic attack, sometimes you get so tired you just want to sleep. And then I woke up a couple hours later. I was still hungry. I ate pizza again. Guess what? I had another panic attack. So from that point on, I started thinking, oh my God, I can't eat pizza anymore because that's what triggered me to having a panic attack. But like I say, it might not even be the pizza because, before when I didn't have panic disorder, I used to eat pizza a lot too. From like company, when they're doing a little party for the companies like pizza, how sometimes we have little pizza party, how I eat pizza when there's nothing else to eat. It's just something fast and easy to get. So I will stop eating pizza for I think I don't know how many months, but I think it's like maybe half a year or less. But I remember every time I watch TV, like when I was watching football, they'll talk about football has commercial with pizza, and then instantly threw me into a panic attack. Um, just by hearing the word pizza, if I smell pizza, someone like my family say, you want a slice of pizza? I was like, no, 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 no. I even said no, like, no, no, no. Keep that away from me. Don't ask me about pizza. Don't say the word pizza to me. Don't even mention pizza when I'm around. And then I start thinking, why is it so hard for me just to eat pizza? And then I keep thinking back. I say, oh, because I keep thinking about what happened to me. So that's one thing about anxiety. You start to overthink about things about everything. Sometimes you might even think about why you're thinking too much. Sometimes I'm guilty of that too. I start waking up sometimes in the middle of the night, and then I start thinking, why am I awake? And then I start even saying, why am I thinking about thinking? Why am I thinking about thinking? I remember for a couple of months and once I started having more panic attacks in 2016, I think especially around June, That's when I started having more symptoms, more sensation. I even started having depression. My depression got really bad when I couldn't go to work anymore. I couldn't leave my house. I mean, you would feel depressed if you couldn't leave your house as well. But I remember when I woke up, every time I woke up, my mind was like thinking, okay, am I gonna have a panic attack today? Um, if so, how many am I gonna get? Is it gonna be worse than the one I had yesterday? What if it's I don't have one today and I feel good, but am I gonna be able to leave my house? And then I ask myself that, and I automatically say no, I'm not gonna leave the house because I know if I take one step out the front door, or if I go near the front door, I will instantly panic right away. There was time I couldn't even go near the like I put my hand near the door handle, get ready to open the door, instantly I would panic. And there was times that I would, I would automatically think, okay, yesterday I had 5 panic attacks. Today I'm gonna either have the same amount, or I'm gonna have even more. I'm not gonna. Back then I didn't think, oh, I'm not gonna have any today. It's like first thing I wake up, instantly think about anxiety, think about panic attack, think about my symptoms, my sensation. Am I gonna get better? Am I? And then I say, no, I'm not gonna get better. I'm just gonna stay the same, or I'm gonna get worse. That was in my mindset back then. I didn't think, okay, I'm gonna leave my house anymore. But like I mentioned, I've been leaving my house daily for I don't know how many days, 400 something days. Sure, there's days that when I started leaving my house every day for 400 something days. When I started May 1st, 2016, 2017. It took every day I left the house. It got easier and easier, but I remember if I left my house late, when I say late, I mean like around, I think I used to leave my house around 8 something, 7:30 or 8:10. Those were the times I used to leave, especially around early spring, early summer. As summer came around, I started leaving during afternoon, like around 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, times like that, and then I will always stick to those times. Sometimes I leave it early in the morning, but the reason why I live around those times is because those were the times where I didn't feel too much anxiety. Because in my mindset, it's like, oh, I better leave now, because in 15, 20 minutes from now, that's when my anxiety kicks in. Because like on my notepad, I write down what time I usually feel panic. That's what time I woke. And whatever time I write, I try to avoid doing anything at those times. If I was watching TV and then the time was like, let's say 11 a.m., and those were the times that I used to feel really bad anxiety, I wouldn't even watch TV. I would quickly try to go to sleep. I would try to just, fall back asleep. If I woke up at 9 o'clock, I'll stay up till like 10 o'clock, because sometimes it does take me an hour or even longer to fall asleep. The other thing with negative thinking is you never think that you're going to feel better. You're going to think, oh, I'm just going to feel the same way, or I'm just going to get worse and worse each day. That's the thing that happened to me. I keep thinking, okay, my panic attacks are lasting, longer each day. I'm getting more symptoms, more sensation. They're not getting better, so I'm not getting better. So by me saying that, my mind just focused on getting worse, And I remember in 2016 when I actually had like a month and a half with little to no anxiety, no symptom, no sensation, not even a little bit. I was able to leave my house. I only go for maybe 4 blocks, most. That's it. But I wasn't driving. At the same time, I was thinking to myself, I'm not driving. Why? At the time, I was still feeling depressed, even though I wasn't feeling too much anxiety or anything like that. But in my mind, it's like my mind couldn't be happy. I was still feeling depressed, even though I wasn't feeling the symptoms and the sensation, or I wasn't feeling panicky. I kept saying, well, I can walk 3 blocks. How come I couldn't go 4 blocks? If I went 4 blocks, how come I couldn't go 5 blocks? How come I'm not driving? I used to like driving. I used to go to work early. I used to show up to work half an hour to even an hour early to go to work because I didn't want to, because I was like saying, I'm bored at home. I need to go. I go to work early, and sometimes I just talk to my coworkers and stuff like that. Because when every time I show up to work right on time or 5 minutes earlier, for some reason I always feel lazy when I do that. I don't know why, but I like showing up to work early, even though I'm not doing anything yet. But it's like back then my mindset was never on depression. My mindset was never on like anything negative. If I was surrounded by negative people or anything like that, my mind would automatically block the negativity. It's like if I hear negativity, um, my ears, my mind would be like, just completely block it. Now, if I hear like negativity, even though it's not towards me, but if I hear negativity with someone talking badly about someone else, it it affects me for whatever reason. It's like my mind is just like, if I hear negativity from watching TV, I'm gonna like pick up on that. If I hear from like my surrounding, I'm gonna pick up from that. I don't, that's how I was when I started having the panic disorder. But now, if I hear negativity, my mind is automatically trying to block it off. It's like I'm not waking up with all these nonstop negative thoughts, nonstop thinking. Before when I woke up, I would have all these thoughts in my mind, all negative thoughts. Right? I would want to pull my hair because my mind wouldn't stop thinking. Like I said, I couldn't stop thinking about every little thing. You know, I remember when I woke up once, my mind wouldn't stop thinking. Like I said, I wanted to pull my hair. I ate. What I would do if when I eat, I would eat, sit down for 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes max, go back to sleep because I didn't want to wake up having my mind going thinking. I remember there was time I didn't even want to eat because I say if I eat this, what if I have a panic attack? I start losing weight because at that time I didn't want to eat. I would eat the same thing because I will only eat something that I got used to. If there's something new, I didn't want to try it. I haven't drank anything with caffeine in it for over 2 years. I haven't drank, soda, caffeine, anything like that. Once in a while, I'll still eat like a little junk food here and there, but not as much as I used to. Before I would used to eat like mostly junk, especially when I had to work graveyard. There was times like when I had to work 12 hours, sometimes 6 days a week. I would have nothing. I would eat at home, and then sometimes I'll bring something from home to eat, like a home cooked meal. I'll eat it, but then I'll get hungry again, and then I have no choice to go buy some junk food. And I think after a while, I stay away from junk food. I stay away from wanting to eat so much random things. I want to eat stuff that's cooked from home. But if I have panic attacks from whatever I eat from home, my mind would say that's a trigger. Don't eat that. And then I allow my mind to start wandering off. If my phone rang and it was a phone number I didn't know, for some reason that would do me into a panic attack. It's little things that would make me panic for no reason. It would make me nervous. I remember one time, the satellite guy came in to upgrade our equipment because we needed some new equipment, and I was freaking out. When he came to my room, I had to go run into my daughter's room till he was done. I even picked up social anxiety, and like before, I never had social anxiety. I was never afraid of being around people. Uh, I was never afraid of talking to random people. But once I start having panic attack, I start thinking people are looking at me, talking behind my back, stuff like that, and I didn't know why I was thinking that way. But now I'm pretty much back to how I was. When you watch my videos, you'll see me talking to like random people I come across. That's how I used to be. Sure, I still have my symptoms, but they don't really stop me from leaving the house anymore. Sure, there's days that I only go for like, 5, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes walk. But at the same time, that 15 minutes used is a lot better than me not even being able to get off my bed. So if you see me only leaving my room for, I mean my house for 15 minutes, and you say, oh, you only left 15 minutes and you've been going around the same area, what's the big deal? Well, keep in mind that before I couldn't even get off my bed. Before I couldn't even go to my backyard. I couldn't even get the mail. So for me to leave my house every day, even for 15 minutes, that's a big thing. Especially if you're bedridden, you're housebound. That's another thing. If you're housebound, some of us that are housebound, we have our limits. My limit could be different from you. I could be stuck going around for only like 15 minutes within like, a mile. Some of you guys can go 2 miles. Some of you guys can't even go out to get the mail. Like I said, that was me before. I could, I felt safe around my house, but I couldn't go to the backyard. And then there was even a point in time I couldn't even go to the living room. I couldn't go to the kitchen. I would only stay inside my room. And there was times that when I went to the bathroom, I would freak out and didn't want to use the bathroom. Things like that. But yes, negative thinking will impact you with your anxiety. It's going to stop you from wanting to do the things you want to do. It's because your brain is so focused on the negativity that when you try to do something that you couldn't do before, you're going to feel nervous because your mind is telling you no and you're saying yes. It's like you're fighting your own mind. So what really helped me? If I say I can't do something, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to stay there and listen to my head, my thoughts say, no, you can't do it. This might happen, that will happen. So you just have to go out and do what you think you can't do. Don't even say, oh, yes, I can do it. Watch me. Just go and do it. By you just doing it, your brain is going to pick up on it. I remember when I started leaving my house, when I started leaving my house for the last 400 something days, like I said, it was hard for me at first I think for 1 month it was really hard, and then it got easier each day I did. My mind was like, okay, I enjoy being outside. Why were we so scared? And then I start thinking to myself, why was I scared? It was because I was telling myself what will happen, but whatever I said what will happen, like I'm gonna faint, this is gonna happen to me, that's gonna happen. None of those things that I popped in my mind actually happened. So you just have to realize that a lot of things that you think might happen never will actually happen, especially those bad things. So I said to myself, what if I go outside and have a good time? And then so I tricked myself into saying, what if I have a good time and I don't want to go home? Instead of saying, what if this happens? What if I pass out right here and embarrass myself? Instead, I say, what if I go out and I have fun? What if I leave my house and I don't panic? What if I leave my house and I have fun and I didn't want to go home? What if I do it today and I'm going to do it tomorrow? And so on, so on. So you just have to let yourself know that every day you do something positive, even if it doesn't seem like much, and you think back to your past, you're going to realize, wow, I wasn't able to do this before, but I'm able to do it now. So the more you do it, like I say, for myself, I always think about the past. If I look back, like let's say a month ago, what am I going to think about? Oh, last month I was still going out for walks. Okay, how about 2 months ago? I was still going for walks. See, so the more you do something positive and you start thinking back about your past, the more your past has positivity. Like let's say every day you left your house for 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, you keep thinking past, you're going to realize you add in a couple more minutes each day you go for a walk in the present moment. So you're going to think about the past, but then you're going to have all that positivity. And then you're going to say, oh, so throughout the year I've been living in my house, I will go farther each day. Then you go think about the future. Okay, I've been I'm gonna be able to go even farther 1 week from now. So that's how my mindset is now, you know. So I don't think about what happened to me like a year and a half ago when I was still stuck at home, you know. So that's what I'm doing now. And other than that, that's pretty much it for today.